Hello, Keyboard High School. I'm Kate DiPaolo.
And I'm Danica Borza.
Welcome to another episode of Alumni Spotlight, which we feature a special graduate each month and see what they're doing today. Today we're joined by Corey Markowitz, a proud graduate of the class of 2006.
We were born in 2006.
It's so nice of you to join us today. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well.
Tell us a little bit about your experience at KHS. What was it like to be a student at that time?
We had fun. I had a lot of fun because I had great teachers. Like Mrs. Cowan at the time, just a lot of great teachers that were super supportive, whether it was in the arts or I kind of hopped around a little bit, so football, baseball, for a very short amount of time until I thought of a drama club. But we had a really good time, me and my friends.
After you graduated high school, what did you do to further your career, and what is your current career path?
Sure. So I went to Brookdale first to get my associates for a couple of years, and I started taking vocal classes. So I started taking some singing classes, some more music classes, and then I ended up going to the city for a musical theater program. And from there on out, I've just been playing music professionally for a living, singing with a band full time, and then doing more theater then, but doing theater and teaching music as well.
What's your favorite thing about being in a band?
Honestly, getting to sing for a living and just playing gigs on the weekends and, in the summer it's a lot more. I don't have to, I guess what a lot of people say, like a 9 to 5. All I do is music all the time, so I think that's my favorite part, is just being able to do what I love for a living. It's very fortunate for that.
Were you always interested in music?
No, not really. To be honest, I was way more into sports when I was younger. I just wasn't that good. And then freshman year, I think I got a guitar and started playing a little bit, and then Mrs. Cowan just needed some guys for the musical. So I auditioned, didn't really know what I was doing, and then that was kind of my first taste of singing too. And then it just kind of took off from there.
What are your duties and responsibilities of being a musician?
Sure, it is a lot more responsibility than a lot of people kind of assume. So me and my band, we treat it very much like a business. So that way we know that we're really prepared for what we're doing, and we can keep our schedule consistent, and people can be dependent on us. So a lot of scheduling and booking and making sure that, we book out like 2-3 years in advance for weddings and stuff like that. So in order to do that efficiently, it really takes a lot of preparation and a lot of the boring side, a lot of book work and a lot of bookkeeping and stuff like that.
What would you consider are the biggest challenges working as a musician?
Starting out, if you want to do it as a profession, it's very hard to just jump into it and being able to do it for a living and be able to make, sufficient money and be able to have a sufficient, consistent schedule. It does take a lot of time to build up. So I think what deters a lot of people is that starting out feels so tough. So then they feel like they need to pull back a little bit and maybe not dedicate themselves. But if you treat it like anything else and you just kind of realize that it is going to take time and you just have to put that work in, then it'll pay off just like anything else you do.
Do you do a lot of traveling?
Yeah, actually, I just yesterday got back from an overnight weekend in Vermont. We've been down to Miami, we've driven a lot of miles, Florida, Chicago, Michigan, Ohio. We travel quite a bit, yeah.
Is that all because of weddings?
No, so we also play a lot of colleges, weddings, corporate events. Like we did, a few years back, we did Facebook's corporate in the city. For them, we've done stuff for TGI Fridays, right at board. We play a lot of clubs and bars, so really every week is different.
What band are you in?
So my band is called 90s Night. It's a 90s themed tribute band. And then we also run a theater company called Duel of the Decades. So it's a lot of nostalgia-based stuff, but it's the same. Me and 3 of my buddies run the band, run the business, run the theater company, and we also try to bring in a lot of other musicians to bring it onto the theater company as well, so that we can kind of expand our network that way.
Is the theater company how you teach lessons?
It's not actually. So the theater company is a theater, basically a theater show that we put together. Where I teach lessons is actually out of a nonprofit called Rocket Live Foundation, or the Rocket Academy. It's based out of the Brookdale campus, so it's an 8 to 18 program, and we put together bands of really great, talented kids, and it's more of a rock-based program, so we teach kids, music that they may not know, stuff, especially, a lot of 50s, 60s, 70s stuff, rock-based, and that is, again, I do private lessons for them, and then I also teach the band classes as well.
Since it's a nonprofit, do you get paid for that?
Yes, so a nonprofit, I'm still employed by them, and they take care of us, and it's a really great place to work for. But we also, a lot of the money that we take in goes right back, so we try to give out as many scholarships as possible. So it is an audition-based program, but we also bring in a lot of students that may not have that opportunity, students that can't afford it, students that just don't usually have the equipment, the time, and we give out scholarships every session to bring in those students as well. Yeah, I get how that's a little confusing, but yeah, no, it is still a job. It's just a lot of our money, we just tend to put it back into the community.
Is there anything else that we haven't covered that you feel the students should know about you and your interest in becoming a musician?
Sure. I think that maybe my main point would be that a lot of people have the misconception that you're either, playing an open mic night in front of 7 people, or you made it and you're playing a stadium. There's such in between, and there's so many different areas that you might not even know exist now, but if you're a singer, if you're a musician, if you're a composer, if you're a writer, producer, any of that stuff, there's so many different avenues to take. So a lot of people, it is kind of daunting to see, again, people with, especially now with so many followers, or people that sell a lot of tickets, and they think that if I'm not doing that, it's not successful. But there is a lot you can do. It does take a lot of time and work, but there's a lot you can do that falls in between the lines that a lot of people don't see. Like, that's kind of where I fall. So I do music for a living. I don't have to do anything besides that, and I'm able to support my family. I'm able to do that as a full-time job, but I'm not famous in any way, and I'm not playing in front of 10 people. So there is that kind of middle ground that I wish more people would see. There's a lot of possibilities in a lot of different areas. It's just a matter of trying as many different things as you can.
That's all the time that we have for today. The crew of TV Club would like to personally thank you for your time, which we know is so precious. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Bye.